Hello, Mom, Dad, Me World. So I don't know if you've seen this, but there's this talk about nanotexture, and nanotexture is what a lot of the reviewers, a lot of the people on YouTube are saying is really, really good. So one of the things to point out is no matter which MacBook Pro model you get, whether you get the one starting at $50.99 all the way up to the one going darn near $4,000, it is a custom option to add the nanotexture, about $150, and a custom option to add that nanotexture, meaning you cannot go to Best Buy, you cannot go to Apple. As far as I know, there's been no configurations unless they've just been sold out, but we had to get this particular model right here, the one I have right in front of me, to where you can get that nanotexture. It has to be custom ordered, custom configured, meaning you send it out, you can pick it up in store or have it shipped directly to your home, but it's gonna take a little bit of time. So what I've been wanting to find out is the hype real, because we've been using for a year now our M3 Max. This is our 14-inch M3 Max MacBook Pro, and it has the standard mini LED display, beautiful, shiny, glossy display. It is quite pretty, 120 Hz ProMotion Retina. But the thing that everyone's talking about is the nanotexture and how good the nanotexture is compared to the normal display you do get. So this is primarily when they're talking about in the sun, in the glare, where you have harsh lights on you. So the way I've seen it presented is they're taking a flashlight or one of their very bright key lights, and they're pointing it directly at the two screens between the shiny factory like standard 120 Hz ProMotion Retina screen against a nanotexture display, and then they're hitting it with a bunch of light. So I want to do something a little bit different. I actually want to show you what it looks like with a normal use case, whether it's going to be on the couch, in the kitchen, in the office, maybe at a coffee shop, and then those few times where it is going to be outside. So more real world use as opposed to a tested, very controlled use or have a light hitting it. I don't know about you, but if you are going to be editing outside in the sunlight, you will most likely want to find shade, because it is going to burn you, or you will get very warm, as opposed to you sitting out there with the sun hitting yourself and your laptop completely wide open for long periods of time. So with that being said, here is our particular model. This is our 16-inch M4 Max MacBook Pro. So this is the unbin version. I've got it right here. This particular model right here, as I said, 16-inch M4 Max. We had no custom configurations. This is the commercial off the shelf. You buy it directly from Apple. This is their higher end spec, but I just wanted to do an unboxing for you of this right here. So let's do it. You've got the standard two rip tabs on the top and bottom, which we are going to pull open right now. As you can tell here, we did get this in space black. It does look beautiful. This is going to be one of the only times where you're actually going to see this out of a case, because right after this, when we come back for a later part of this video, you're going to see this in a case, because, well, I do not trust myself running something this expensive naked and out of a case. So we've got this. We're going to set this down. What else do we get with this? So here, looks like we've got the braided cable right here. This pretty looking black, braided black MagSafe and USB-C cable. I'm going to slide that back in the box. We've got our paperwork right here, and then we've got a very large power brick. This power brick right here. All right, so one additional thing I did forget when we were unboxing it was this right here, this cleaning cloth. The cleaning cloth was actually in this paperwork pile right here, but this is a nice, it looks like a double layered cleaning cloth. You've got the Apple logo right here. That is really, really nice. Nice touch. And this is a nice thick cleaning cloth. It looks like they took two pieces of cleaning cloth and then they actually stitched them together right here on the side and came up with this particular cleaning cloth. It is a nice one, but I don't know about you. I'm hoping this does not rub off on when this actually gets used, because I've seen the Apple cleaning cloths to where in the past these logos right here actually rub right off and it just looks like one solid piece of cloth. All right, back to the video. We've got our MacBook Pro and we are going to open it up right here. Take off that, and you can tell already, or at least I can, it does have a nice matte finish and there are lights hitting it. Normally I can see a reflection of myself and there is no reflection. I am just seeing a matte screen right there. I'm going to open up our other MacBook Pro right here, and you can tell right here, I can tell there is a reflection because I can see the mirror of the screen with everything we have in the background here, including the camera that I'm recording on. So yeah, right off the bat you can tell the other one does eat up those reflections very, very easily. So as I said, this is the first part. You're going to see on the second part what it's going to look like with this MacBook Pro. We do have our cover from the M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro that we did have a couple years ago, and that's going to actually fit right here on this very powerful M4 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro with the 120 Hz ProMotion Retina display, but with Nanotexture. All right, let's come back. Hello Mom and Dad Me World. So we are back here. So we have been using these computers right here for about a week, and this computer right here, this is the 16-inch M4 Max MacBook Pro with the Nanotexture display option. This right here is the 14-inch M3 Max with the glossy display. No Nanotexture option is available for that one, but this is what I've been using for about a year now. This is my daily driver, used quite a bit, and what I've been doing over the past week is I've been using this computer right here to do pretty much all the tasks that this one does. And the thing I've been doing with this too is I've actually been bringing them both to a coffee shop and over to my mom's house where we are right now, since this is, as of filming this is the holiday season. But I've also been working right behind or in front of a window. So in the kitchen right here, you're gonna see I'm working right by a window. I've got the window to my right. I've got this bigger MacBook Pro to my right, closest to the window, and it does a very, very good job with reflection. The only thing I've noticed between using the both of them is a lot of people had said, a lot of YouTubers had said that, hey, there's going to be a little sharpness hit. It's not going to be as sharp as the glossy display. But to be honest with you, I have not seen a difference at all with the sharpness in the bigger one. With this Nanotexture, it has been super duper clean. The image has been super sharp, and I'm literally having to put my face right up against this to even see if there is a sharpness difference. No, I think it looks just as sharp as the Nanotexture display, the glossy display of the 14-inch right here. I think they both are super sharp, but again, I don't notice any actual sharpness difference with the Nanotexture display at all. And so as far as reflections go, if I've got this in front of or by a window, what I'm noticing is that it is not reflective at all. The only part where you do notice there is a haze to it, and I will call it a haze, so think about it if you are to wash like a car window and it leaves that little haze on there. That is the only part I notice, is that little haze when you tilt it a little to the side. If you're looking at it directly on, there's no haze at all, but if you've got a little bit to the side, and the camera does exaggerate that haze look, but you can tell there's like a little little haze over the actual whole display, where if you do that to this one right here, the glossy display, there's no haze at all. It just looks like a nice clear image, but it looks more like a reflection, more like a mirror, especially when you've got these two sitting right next to each other. Because to be honest with you, I've never really noticed that reflection or that mirror-like display on the M3 Max. This right here, this 14-inch display at all when I was using it. The only time I ever noticed that reflection is when they're sitting right next to each other, and I noticed that, yeah, this is more like a mirror. This is more like a very, very immersive display. So as far as the Nanotexture goes, I think if you are working, yes, it's very true what they said. Other than just shining a light on it and having you see the way it diffuses the light, is yes, in real world situations, if you are working by a window, is it better to use? I think so. You're not going to get as much glare, but in real world day-to-day use, is it as sharp? I think so too. I think that it will not really matter if you get the Nanotexture or the glossy display. Both are still going to be sharp. But again, if you're going to be using this right by a window, then you definitely might want to consider the Nanotexture option. All right, so as you can see right here, we've got two different screens up. I've got a window right behind me as we're just sitting down here at Panera. And I've got two photos up here and a note up here, and then I've got Final Cut in the background. So if I go right here, you can see you do have some reflection right there of the glass. And then if you go right here, you've got a reflection right here. Looks like a mirror, but you can see the subtle differences in how they reflect light. And in real world use, you could see here the black levels are indeed darker, looks like a true black, versus here, it looks a little bit washed out. It does look a bit washed out, but it is still somewhat vibrant. And then if you go back here, you can tell, go to the photo, that it is nice and vibrant on both. But yeah, the blacks are not as black here, but they are nice and black here, but you do get a reflection, and I can see myself, and this is really just a reflection of, same reflection, but the light is more diffused is what I'm trying to say. So other aspects to this computer when it comes to this computer, is it fast? Yes, they're both fast. M3 Max, this is a bin model M3 Max. We don't have all of the GPU cores and we don't have all of the CPU cores on here, but this is the full-fledged non-bin model of the M3 Max MacBook Pro. And the thing is, they're both very fast. I can't tell a difference in the speed day-to-day use between both of them. They're both very competent, they're both very capable. So as far as like working with video, so with exporting videos right here, a 9-minute and 50-second, very, very simple video on the M3 Max took 2 minutes, 17 seconds. On this one right here, even though it says 2 minutes, 1 second, it actually took 2 minutes exactly, because it took me a split second to get to the camera. A 17-second difference between the M4 Max and M3 Max, so 1 generation difference, I don't think is going to be that big of a difference. If you are thinking about the export time, I just think right here, this is a big immersive display. Like I've said before, when we have used an M1 Max, it is very much so bigger, obviously in size, than the 14-inch M3 Max. But as far as like shaving off a little bit of time, no, you're not going to notice really that much of a difference. Now, will you notice a difference with a little bit longer project where it's a more complicated project? Sure, you may notice maybe a minute, 2-minute difference, but I think between M3 Max and M4 Max, if you are upgrading just based on that little bit of time saving, then pretty much don't. But if you are upgrading based on like that Nanotexture option, I think that might be a good reason too, because you cannot get it on the M3 Max generation or the M3 generation at all. But then the thing is, if you've got the entry-level MacBook Pro, whether it be the 14 all the way up to the 16-inch highest end model you can go, and you want that option, yeah, I definitely say go for that Nanotexture option. So this has just been a hopefully quick video of the comparison between the Nanotexture, the regular glossy display, versus the Nanotexture display on the M4 series of the MacBook Pros for this year. Is it a great option? Yeah, I think so, especially if you work with a window or around a windowed area. If you like this video, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, comment. It all helps out our channel. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.